This is about defending democracy. This is no longer Democrats versus Republicans. What do you want your kids to believe in? There must be give and take.
This is White Flag with Joe Walsh.
So I don't know this Friday if what I've got to say right now is terribly enlightening, but let me do it. Look, the House of Representatives, that body in which I served a few years back, is a dysfunctional, chaotic, divisive, ugly, hateful mess. Just look at the House every day. Absolute chaos. People shouting at each other, people yelling at each other, Republicans and Democrats, Republicans yelling at Republicans, Republicans yelling at Democrats, Democrats yelling back at Republicans, Democrats arguing with Democrats, nobody listening to each other. It's an ugly, partisan mess. Our House of Representatives is. And look, I felt that way when I served in Congress 10 years ago. I thought back then the House is a pretty ugly, divisive, dysfunctional mess. It's 100 times worse now. 100 times worse. Did you see what happened last night? Take a look at what happened last night. Here's my pearl of wisdom for the day. You had that committee hearing, a government oversight and reform, a committee on which I served. MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene, said something to AOC offensive. Of course, she started it. AOC fired back. And then Congressman Jasmine Crockett, who I really like, got into the mix. And they all just started hurling ugly personal insults at each other. You ought to check it out. Google it. Check it out. I mean, it was 5 to 6 minutes of just ugliness. Personal attacks in a committee hearing, calling each other just nasty, wicked names. And I watched it. And as a former member of Congress, my take is pretty simple. The House of Representatives is a microcosm of us, of society at large. There's a reason why they call the House the People's House. I loved serving in the House. It is the People's House. It is that body in our federal government that is closest to the people. You got to come home all the time. You got to get yourself reelected every 2 years. You got to get with your constituents all the time so that you can get reelected every 2 years. It's not like the Senate, those elite farts in the Senate. You know, they don't have to run for re-election until every 6 years. They represent the entire state. The House, the People's House, most intimately and closely reflects the people. Most intimately and closely reflects the moods and the whims and the attitudes of the people. So what we saw last night with MTG and AOC and all the rest, we saw ugly, partisan, performative divisiveness, which is no surprise. Because when you look at us as a people right now, what do you see? Ugly, partisan, divisive, performative. You see the same thing. No desire to listen to anybody out here among the people. Hating on people we disagree with out here among the people. Total, go on social media any day. Total performative bullshit, right? Being outraged, going after the opposition. That's us as a people. So it's no surprise we see the same damn thing in the House because the House reflects us. completely. The House of Representatives is us. MTG and AOC laying into each other last night, that's us. As a people on social media every damn day and night. Things are ugly in the House. That body in which I served, 100 times uglier than things were when I was there. Things are ugly. It's all about partisan attacks and personal insults in the House of Representatives right now. Partisan attacks and personal insults. Well, come on, gang. It's all about partisan attacks and personal insults out here among us, the people, as well. No surprise at all. And to my Democratic friends, Aunt Marjorie Taylor Greene, she started the ugliness in that committee hearing last night. But don't get AOC and the Dems who responded to her, don't give them a pass. They got down in the dirt, in the ugliness, in the divisiveness, in the partisanship, in the I'm not going to listen to you, I'm just going to yell at you, I'm going to try to perform and see if I can get myself a bunch of likes on TikTok or wherever, on Twitter or whatever. AOC and the other ones did the same damn thing. They reflect us. It's the people's house. Our representatives in the House reflect us. And right now, they're reflecting us perfectly. Because right now in America, as a people, we really want nothing to do with the people we disagree with. And that's played out every day out here. So it's no surprise at all that it's being played out every day as well in the House of Representatives. Let's clean up our act out here. And then the House will clean up their act. Hey, have a great weekend. This is Joe Walsh. Thanks for listening. Joe Walsh, whiteflag@gmail.com. All one word, my email. Joe Walsh, whiteflag, all one word, @gmail.com. Make it a great weekend. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow White Flag with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been White Flag with Joe Walsh.